Very good. Onwards. Up.
Spots.
Spots.
Trees.
Spots.
Arrows.
Over here.
Spots and
Over
arrows.
here. Over here. All right. Up. Up.
We've been looking at new tattoos to get, and we've been floating quite a few sort of game ideas back and forth.
Indeed.
And now I'm thinking one of us should just get spots and the other one gets an arrow.
Yeah, just paint spots
because
like ink blots.
Completely nonsensical. Just in yellow, just like a few spots.
Well, it should be. It only shows up under a certain type of light.
Well, we get UV ones.
Yeah, that's cool.
We get that like white UV, like a UV thing.
Oh, that's always good. It's got to be yellow. That's how you know that we're important.
Well,
everything in yellow is important. That's
so if we ever walk
like Naughty
in
Dog
somewhere
yellow.
where it lights up, it's like, oh my god, it's that way.
Yeah, Naughty Dog yellow. You just know.
Everything yellow.
Yeah, everything
Red
yellow is important.
as well, though.
So yeah, well, I think it's just game yellow now.
Yeah.
So I think it's just if it's yellow, it's important. It's the way to go.
If it's yellow, it's climbable.
It's climbable. If it's red,
or it's breakable.
If it's red, it's the weak spot.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Hiya!
That's helpful.
I know, right? What a ninja. Here he goes. Up. Hold on. You can't jump that. Hiya!
Couldn't possibly.
I know. Alan's he's done with your shit now. He's just done with your shit.
Cross the mountain ruins.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's travelled maybe 2 days
and hasn't slept at all.
No, I mean
out.
just since now I feel like he's travelled for like 2 days worth of distance. And it's still nighttime. Dearest lip. I miss Tom. I miss Tom. Tom.
Tom. I like when you go.
Tom. Who's in the heart? What does the heart say? Okay.
C.W. Cynthia Weaver.
Thomas Dane.
Correct.
Tom.
You talk to me on TV. Tom.
Tom talks to you on TV.
That's what it says. You talk to me on the TV. Tom. Is that a thing? That's a thing. Yoink. Oh, shotgun ammo. I don't have a shotgun.
Oh, that's okay.
Not entirely useful.
You picked it up anyway.
That Tom. Oh.
Whoop, bonk.
Did that attack me, or is that just
Yeah,
I walked past and I picked it up by accident?
Me or both.
Why not both? Alright. So, are we getting the impression that Cynthia Weaver has a thing for Tom Zane?
Tom.
Tom.
Was she not with... No, wait, who was
Wee!
he with? Wee!
Oh. Sorry, I didn't know that was going to happen. I'm sorry. Stop for a minute.
Sometimes we have the same brain.
And another one. Up. For the love of God, man.
He did not want to die.
Up.
Oh,
Press
no.
the R1 button, please. R1 button, please. Thank you. He's like, I'm backing up. Lean back. Oh, hey, guy.
You go.
Hey, wait. Step back. That was not your turn.
Who said you could get so close?
Hey, whoa, hey.
There's another guy.
There's more guys.
Do you have any more flashbangs?
How about one of these?
That works.
It works.
I don't understand the difference.
Well, this one fires, and the other one you just sort of flick it out.
Yeah, but I don't understand how one flare just kind of annoys them a bit, and the other flare kills them.
I think it's just the really bright... Well, I mean, like, a flashbang is generally... I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Because Alan, wake!
Tom.
Tom.
Okay.
Yep, correct. Tom! Baby!
So the only thing we got from that building
I
was
like
Tom.
the way! Yeah, that's right. I like the way you shoot the guys at Tom. All right, beautiful. Let's go.
Right, so
That's all we should have gotten from that part. Tom.
Tom is with who?
I thought I could make out the spot where the island and the cabin had been. There was a light near it. It had to be a boat.
Has to be.
It could be a boat. So what's the question?
Considering you're meant to be meeting him at a lookout.
That's correct. What was the question?
That's not a boat.
I was close now. I had to get there fast.
Tom.
Yep.
Who is he? Who's his wife? Girlfriend?
Barbara Jagger.
Partner? Barbara Jagger. Right. But Cynthia loves him.
Yes.
So Cynthia somehow got him to write Barbara Jagger's death so that she could take Tom. And now for some reason she's back for revenge with Alan.
Up. Hold on. Good times. I'm sure everything's fine down there. Did you catch that? Did you catch any of that?
No, not really.
So he was
they
like,
don't
please,
have the wife.
Please, lady, we don't have his wife. We've never had his wife. So the reason she sounds weird is because I've been using recordings of her.
Oh, that's creepy.
To pretend that they have her, but they don't. So she, as far as they're concerned, she drowned. But because Alan believes she's alive, they've been playing off that to try to get him to write for them, so that they can, like, loot his manuscript, basically. Here we go. I've wet myself. Hey, hunting cap. Ooh. See ya!
Oh.
Whee!
That was wrong also. Into the water with you.
Maybe.
Splish.
Splish splash, Alan's taking a bath. All up on a Saturday night.
He's like, time for another nap.
Relaxing in the tub.
Finally, way out of this hell.
Thank goodness. Starfishing.
Drowned myself.
Starfishing across the universe. That's not how that song goes, Alan.
It's like, wait, I just had a great idea for a book.
Oh, if only.
If only.
End of chapter. End of chapter.
Right.
Now, that's the end of the chapter.
Okay.
Let us all dwell on that. We're not stopping it here, like exactly here. However, this is when music starts. So I'm just going to leave it here.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, cool.
So that music doesn't play.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because I don't want to have to cut it out and ruin the mood. All right, so.
Yeah, because then, wait, does that mean the music played underneath your epic rant about whatever you were ranting?
That's absolutely, I do believe that is absolutely correct, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
But I'll have to check back.
The whole thing out.
I'll have to check back. I
have to see
probably
what that was about.
I probably do have to take it out, because if it's over the top of music, then yeah, I will have to take it out. But any questions with that one? How dramatic?
So, he just wanted to steal the book?
That's correct. Because imagine how much money he would make if he had the Alan Wake's manuscript before anyone else. A lot of money. People would pay a lot of money for that.
But the darkness is a thing.
Yes, but
and he knows the darkness is a thing?
Absolutely.
Oh, so because he's fighting it?
So up to a certain point, it was kind of serving the darkness that he was doing this to Alan, because it was keeping him busy, it was keeping him distracted. However, he escaped. He kept escaping it. So it was like, okay, look, he'll come to us, which is the main thing. So it was using him to draw them in. But then once he got close enough, the darkness was like, well, I don't need you anymore. So I'm basically going to pick you up into a dark tornado and then fold you up like origami.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So that guy's not well. I think he's dead. I don't know for certain at this point, but I'm pretty sure he's dead.
He seemed that way.
Yeah. So there you go. That's that moment. They don't have his wife. They've never had his wife. Yeah. So
She's around, and they somehow have recordings of her.
That's correct. Yeah. Absolutely. Where they got them, I don't think they'll ever explain that. Never.
Not important.
No, look, I mean, it could be interviews. I mean, she was like she was the partner of a very high profile guy. She might have been in interviews. They could have like clipped bits and pieces together. But the fact that he couldn't tell that is a bit sad. I mean, he kind of did by the end of it. He was just like, oh, something was weird. But at the same time, saying, hey, something's weird when trees are falling down and trains are attacking him is just always a little bit strange.
Also, considering that like Rose was doing what Rose did,
that's true.
He was just like, yeah, no, totally, this is normal.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Is that 106 in this chapter or 106 all up?
No, all up.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because it was 100,
holy shit,
106 manuscript.
That many?
I love the idea there's 106 manuscript pages in just this chapter. That would have been really funny.
That's
like every 2 meters there is one. Like you got to stop and pick it up, man. I don't know about the alarm clocks. I don't remember what they even look like. Nightstring's video games found. I don't remember that at all. The cardboard standees, I think, are in. They might be in actually some of the DLC. Which one?
You've already found all the cardboard standees.
Did I? Oh, 6 out of 6. Yeah, that was obviously from one of the DLCs, which is strange because I thought I'd only done the DLC on PlayStation 4. Anyway, who knows?
Apparently not, because you found 8 TV shows as well, and we've only seen 3 of them.
Oh, there you go. Well, there's 5 more. That's how we're starting.
How dare you play this game you've played multiple times without me.
I know, it's ridiculous.
So mean.
Yes, any questions, any comments on that particular chapter?
No, I'm good. I'm loving it.
Sick. Awesome.
I'm enjoying it. It doesn't even bother me that it's the same thing over again.
No, don't worry about it. It doesn't get repetitive at all.
Like enemy types and stuff like that doesn't even really. It's like, oh yeah, it's fine.
Don't worry about it. It doesn't get repetitive at all. You won't find that at all.
I'm really hoping that it doesn't have, and I know that every video game to an extent, but certainly every horror game, I feel.
Yes.
Except for Until Dawn, but we're not going to get to that rant right now. Are you talking about
the Resident Evil? Are you talking about the Resident Evil curse?
I'm talking about the filler that every single fucking horror game has.
Look, I mean,
I'm really hoping we don't get to a point where it just goes, and then I didn't know what I was doing, so I just wrote stuff.
Okay, well, in that section, do you feel like that was filler?
Not really. I felt like it was moving forward. I mean, it wasn't just go from point A to point B. It was like you go from point A to point B via 20 other places.
Well, then you'll be fine.
But it did introduce the mechanic that inanimate objects will now fuck you up.
That's correct.
So that was fine.
Now, the best part is when they combine dudes who throw things at you, things that float up off the ground and then hurl themselves at you, inanimate objects, and guys who will run up and stab you at the same time. Yeah, that's particularly good. That's when
I can't imagine you getting frustrated at all about that.
Yeah, like I don't know. This game doesn't really frustrate me. Like there's only been like even trying to do like some of the challenge runs. There's like doing that like sort of speed run, that like previous section. That only annoyed me because I think I got about honestly it was like 95% of the way there. Like I could see the end. And then as I was running, a dude threw an axe and he hit me in the ankle and I died. Because I'd already taken enough damage just running.
Yeah.
And that was including like spamming flashbangs and throwing, flares behind me to slow them down. Because you have to keep moving.
Yeah.
And so I was already pretty damaged and I was like, all I have to do is get maybe like 10 feet further down the road. And somebody threw and you could see it. It was like the pixel on the back of Alan's foot, and it just goes and it goes and just collapses. Like I've never seen like that's flat out Achilles bullshit. That's just like he's completely fine. He's been shot. He's been stabbed. He's been like carved up with sickles. I think at that point I got hit by part of the train. Like all sorts of things. Like just a ridiculous amount of things. But then as I'm running, as I see the end light, a dude throws a hammer or something ridiculous, and then manages to like clip the back of his boot, and that's it. He's dead. Toast.
You turned into Michael Myers.
That's exactly right.
You got stabbed a bunch, and you got shot a bunch, and you were fine, and then a kid punched you, and you died. Yeah.
And then a kid punched me. Yeah, and that was it. So yeah, that was it. That was the only time I got frustrated, because then what you have to do is, because this game is so good at its checkpoints, you kind of have to have made a manual save ages ago. and then go back to it, which is a real pain because you have to, like, you make a save and then you have to load it for, like, you have to sort of, I guess, jump out of the game and then load your previous save state, and it's such a pain in the ass, and I can't be bothered doing it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the only other part that annoys me is there's a section later on where you get a trophy for not getting hit once in a section that's a bunch of like mini fights. That annoyed me because I redid that section, honestly, probably like 6 or 7 times. It's not insubstantial length, but I redid it about 6 times because I'd get to the end not taking any hits, and then it wouldn't ping, like it just wouldn't go. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I'd like, and then I tried playing, the chapter after that because maybe it started the next chapter. No, I started again and maybe it counts if somebody, if like detritus or like, if I bump into like something that looks like it collides with me, even if it doesn't do any damage, maybe something like that. So then playing it through being ultra conservative, no, still wouldn't proc. So I'm hoping that on the PlayStation 5 version, it's fixed, and I will try it because I remember that section really well.
Okay.
And it should be pretty easy.
Was that one of those trophies that a lot of people were like, this isn't happening.
Yeah.
This isn't happening.
Look, I mean, I looked it up and it was like, this is bugged beyond belief, which is especially annoying because there's people who are like, I've done everything else in this game, and this one will not proc no matter what I do.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's broken on the PlayStation 4 version. Good luck with them patching it. Now that they've released the version for PlayStation 5, good luck with them patching it. You're like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I can't be mad at them for that. Like, they've got to move on. And I mean, they had so much. They were just about ready with Alan Wake 2 at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't imagine that. I mean, you'd have to be that guy that everybody hates. You'd have to be the one that served everyone decaf on the day when he was supposed to, give them normal coffee. In order to be the guy that's like not allowed to work on Alan Wake 2, you're too busy bug fixing Alan Wake Remastered for not even the current gen, for the previous gen.
Yeah.
You'd have to be that guy that everybody hates.
You'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to go in and take that trophy out.
It's like, you know what? I'm just going to if I remove that fucking trophy. If I remove it, is anyone going to be mad at me? Yeah, you can't do that. You can't take away content. Oh, okay, well, I mean, the content doesn't work. Well, you can either fix it or just,
I'll put in a new trophy.
Yeah, put in a new trophy, which is you don't complain.
Somewhere in that section, there's a unicorn, and if you find it, you get the trophy.
You win. Well, no, I like the idea of just, you get a trophy if you never write in a complaint to Remedy.
Yeah.
If you never report anything busted, ever, you get a trophy. That's it. That's it.
God,
if you manage to get through,
how many EA you would have to give out?
Yeah, I know. Oh, like they will never do something like that.
They have too many though.
They'll put the complaint. They'll put the complaint form behind the paywall. They'll be like, it's $2.99 US to complain at us.
Have you seen the new Star Wars game getting a bunch of hate for that?
I have. No, I haven't.
They've locked story missions behind the season pass.
No, I haven't seen that. What I have seen is that the only thing I saw from the beginning was the amount of people that were like, see, this is why Star Wars is going to hell. Look at this main character. And I don't understand what the hate is. Is it because she's a woman?
I don't know.
Or is it because she has like a realistic body shape? I think it's because she has a realistic body shape. Yeah, well, I think it looks like, it just looks like she's a regular looking human.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I mean, what you're doing is basically what they've done over time with Star Wars by, through the new films and through the old films and all sorts of things. They've stylized the living hell out of archetypes. So, you think of a Jedi, they've got to be waifish. Like, because there's no, I mean, like, tell me a fat Jedi. There's no fat Jedi. There's no anybody who's even like slightly voluptuous, and you can't tell me that it's a Koska. I'm gonna get some hate on this one. Ahsoka. You can't tell me that she counts. Sure, she's curvy, but she's thin. She's thin as anything. Like, she's one of those classically, I don't know, classic physique that Hollywood loves. So I refuse. I'm not listening. Like, I'm not listening. So anybody that flat out goes, they're branching out into like normal looking humans. You're like, come on, man, that's good. That's good. Like, because I mean, I don't look at, even though it was Harrison Ford, I didn't look at Harrison Ford or like Han Solo and go, what a flawless motherfucker. Like he was a scruffy ruffian, fantastic. Love that. Put in more characters like, I don't know, Watto and, Jabba the Hutt. Just that bad guys should not be the only ones that have different body shapes to the classic waif. Like that just shouldn't.
Although
it shouldn't be the
Sith were
case.
pretty buff too.
Well, they were buff, but they weren't either gigantic or they weren't fat. Like it was just everybody has to be the peak of fitness.
Yeah.
Like there's not a single just out of shape dude unless they're a lesser tech character.
Yeah.
Because no person who understands how to hack is allowed to be a physical specimen. It's absolutely not allowed. Absolutely not allowed. And if you are going to make one character in the early films or whatever who's even slightly gifted with machines, the only way he gets away with it is because he's a fucking kid.
Yeah.
And even then, he's not like a fat kid. It'd be really funny if he was just like a really chubby kid. Like make Anakin.
Kid.
I would have loved if Anakin, when he was like a baby, like a little kid, was just like a fat little bastard. Like that would have been fantastic. Like that would have given him even more of a reason that when he grew up, he was just like, everyone's so mean to me. Everybody keeps holding me back. I've been bullied my whole life. That would have been great. Like, so, he hates sand people because once when he was younger, a young sand kid, like a Tusken Raider, punched him in the nuts and stole his lunchbox. That would have been awesome. So when he's like, I fucking hate sand. I killed them all. You'd be like, yeah, that's cool, man. I get that. He stole my lunchbox. He ate my special sandwich that Mum made me.
Drank my blue milk.
Yeah, drank my blue milk, ate my Rice Krispie treat, and then gave it back to me full of sand. I hate sand. I hate him so much. I would have been so behind that. That would have been like such understandable psychology. But anyway, no, it was not to be. Not allowed to have any normal looking characters or somebody who's not just a stick insect and somehow, force gifted. Because only the force is very discerning. It only picks people who are incredibly thin.
I can't think now. I don't know the universe as well as I used to.
See, I like how we're talking. I mean, we're in Alan Wake in a pause.
I know, and I'm going to tangent
in
a second. I'm going to tangent off onto a different game, a different thing entirely.
Hit me,
sort of, but not. I can't think of anyone other than Jabba, and that's just because he's a giant slug. I can't think of anyone in the Star Wars universe at all
who's
overweight.
Look, having said that, I don't know. I'd like to apologize to anyone who is a Hutt. Or I don't know, what is his species? Because it's Jabba the Hutt, but I mean, I think the Hutts are like a bloodline. Anyway, so I apologize to anyone who is one of those slugmen, because he might be actually a perfectly sexy specimen of a Hutt or a Jabba or whatever the hell he is. I think his name's Jabba and he's of the bloodline the Hutts. I don't know. Anyway, but I apologize because we're not wise in the ways. So please don't give us hate. He might be a perfect specimen. He might be actually super buff for his species. He might be incredibly desirable. We had Watto. If you remember, he was in
he's a little flying dude.
He was in. Yeah. So he's
got a little pot belly.
He has a beautiful pot belly. He's a beautiful man. He had like that weird floppy nose. Loved him, and I also loved the fact that he 100% was the only. I think he was, apart from Darth, who of course cut him in half, he was the only one to put Liam Neeson in his place.
Yeah.
So Liam Neeson walks in and goes, "Oh, Republican credits will do." He's like, "Yeah, get fucked. Your mind tricks won't work on me." Literally, he just goes like, "Yeah, your mind tricks won't work on me." So the only way we're going to discover that this kid is like super gifted, and is the best pilot basically in the galaxy, is because Watto was like, nah, you can't just wave your fingers in front of me and try to cheat me out of money. Because you know what? I love money. Quite frankly, give me the cash. Love that. Love Watto. Love him for that reason. Sebulba, I think he was a little pot-bellied, but I don't know whether it was just his species, because he had like that really long back leg and like I don't know. I like Sebulba. I was very sad. He was my favorite. I was hoping that he would win the race. Which is a sign of exactly how badly they designed Anakin, or how likable they made Anakin as a kid. Because I was the entire time through the pod race going like, Anakin, die, go Sebulba, go Sebulba. And I mean, as far as I remember, the only thing I remember him saying, I think, is his own name. I think he was sassing Anakin at one point, which is fine.
A Pokemon.
Yeah, it's basically a Pokemon. I mean, if I could catch a Sebulba, I'd catch a Sebulba.
Yeah.
And I imagine he would evolve into something pretty bitchin'. But we'll never know.
No.
Never know. Poor Sebulba, and he managed to explode, which is very sad.
And then tangenting on to something else, still in the same...
Yes.
New Fallout TV show's out. It's fucking amazing.
Yes.
Have you watched it yet?
I've watched the first...
Good.
I'm going to say first 2-3 episodes.
So
Big
good.
fan. Huge fan. Massive
Carl
fan.
McLaughlin's amazing, as always.
Carl McLaughlin is... Well, I mean, for the
Twin
short
Peaks,
amount of time
next back to Alan Wake, it's fine.
Absolutely no question. It does. Yes, perfect. That's the tangent we needed.
I love how many people are just like, oh my god, the ghoul is the hottest thing ever.
Right.
Like, okay, cool. No worries.
I love him. I love him. Yeah.
But have you seen the hate of all the like insecure little boys? Because they recreated the game poster.
Right.
Of like Vault Girl, and she's got her back to the camera, and it's like Vault Girl, and she's got the gun down, and she's looking over.
Yeah,
they recreated that poster with the actress whose name I've now forgotten from the TV show, and everyone is like, she doesn't have a butt though. It doesn't look the same as the poster, because on the poster, the girl had like a big booty, and it's like, okay, one is a fucking game.
Yes.
And the other one is a human.
Look, I feel like
again,
at heart,
going back to that like body standard, you're like, guys, come on.
Look, I feel like at heart, there's just this something really simple and really fundamental with, I won't even say with the fandom, with like rabid fans of video games. I will just say in general, people who get into fandoms at all. At heart, they're idiots. And I'm sorry if you're watching this and you find that offensive, but a whole bunch of you, a whole bunch of people who are absolute rabid fans of something, are rabid to the point where logic does not penetrate, and reality is something that they are so adverse to touching their baby, that the second that reality does, they just have a visceral, illogical, knee-jerk reaction to it. So things like anytime you change, like if the character doesn't look exactly the same as they did in the game, they will have a problem. If you make a female character less attractive, they'll hate it. If you make them more attractive, they'll hate it. If you make them bigger, they'll hate it. You make them smaller, they'll hate it. It's just that kind of, there is a cross-section who are absolute purists, and bless you. Absolutely bless you, because like you know, they can't take your fandom from you, even if they remake it, even if they do all that sort of stuff, you will still have that game as it exists. It's like if they make Alan Wake the movie, the TV show, whatever. I'm not, and they absolutely screw it up. Let's say they absolutely screw it up. They cast, I don't know, who's something ridiculous. They cast Timothy Chalamet as, okay. They cast Alan Wake is The Rock. Barry is Chris Rock.
Rose is Zendaya.
Rose is Zendaya. You know, like that kind of thing. If they fuck it up, actually, you know what? I'd watch that. But if they somehow, all right, if they screw it up, Steve Buscemi as Alan Wake. If they screw it up, I'm not going to be mad because they haven't taken the original away from me. If they make a Half-Life film, which I'm hoping that they do at some point, if they make a Half-Life film, I'm not going to be upset if Gordon Freeman doesn't look like Gordon Freeman, because Gordon Freeman, he's fictional and he literally says nothing. He has no lines in every game he's in, right? He could be literally anyone. That's the point. That's why he says nothing, because people want you to I feel like you're the person. So in regards to that, guys, please calm down.
As someone who is in a lot of fandoms, I feel like there are people in there definitely who are purists, but I don't think there's that many of them. I think unfortunately they just have access to social media and they yell a lot.
Yeah, see the thing that's going to upset me.
I think most people are just like, unless they make a completely stupid decision, like unless they go, we are remaking Alan Wake and we're going to cast Steve Buscemi, and everyone's like, sorry, what?
Well, not even that. Like
Which you had like an element of that with like Last of Us, when they cast Last of Us, and people were like, interesting, tell me more.
Yes, go on. Yes.
And then you watched it and you're like, all right, they did a good job, no problems.
Yeah,
but I think it was only really like a very small percentage of people that were like, fact that.
Yeah.
How dare you try to whatever non-binary is whatever thing, and you're just like, okay, calm down.
Yeah, I don't care. Look. Yeah, I feel like no matter what, the fandom is going to be rabid. The one thing that watching Fallout has made me realize is that it is an absolute perfect time, following on The Last of Us, following on from Fallout or whatever. There is a run going of excellent game adaptations, and I feel like honestly there is a huge market for it. But as TV shows, because I think that as movies or whatever, trying to sum up 20 hours of game plot into 2 hours is never going to work. Like, you were going to have to take out the heart of it. So I'm like, the entire time watching through Fallout or whatever, and I watched through Last of Us, and I appreciate the direction that they took The Last of Us. They had to make changes, and I think the ways they went are absolutely fine. It is not as good as, like, for me as the game, but I really do appreciate the decisions they made. But in watching Fallout the entire time, all I could think of is, man, it would be so easy now with the canvas primed to make BioShock the TV show. Right.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about, I mean, you'll have exactly the same thoughts as me because we have the same brain in regards to this. So it is an absolutely flawless noir-ish story set in the 1930s, 1940s, or whatever, where these characters, like, you've got basically, it's Boardwalk Empire under the water with basically magic. There's absolutely nothing not to love about it. So the entire time I've been sitting there going like, oh man, someone's going to do this. Now that they have seen that game series can be profitable and popular in regards to their TV show adaptations, that will be back on the table. I absolutely understand that. I am fearful because there's a part of me that's fearful because, hey, what if they screw up the BioShock thing? I have been waiting for a BioShock adaptation. I mean, I remember like almost a decade ago, Gore Verbinski was going to, the Pirates of the Caribbean director, was slated to direct a feature film of BioShock. And I went, cool, he's the guy who makes water. Like, he's the guy who like films things at sea. That's a perfect choice. Yeah. Absolutely rock on. Like, do it, man. Didn't work out. Absolutely fine. There was even a rumor at one point that Guillermo del Toro was in talks to do it.
Yeah.
And I went, absolutely, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really interesting. Unfortunately, I think that it's not really his thing in regards to making it a TV show. I think he would want to make it a film, and then the film would be dark as hell, which I think would be brilliant, but it would lack a certain narrative substance, which I believe that BioShock needs. And that's just because of the time restraint. Because I
think he'd be able to do that as a 3-hour film really fucking well.
Well, we'll see. We could see. But point being, coming back to the fandom thing, I am an absolutely rabid fan of BioShock. Everybody knows that. If they make it, however they make it, if they make it into a TV show, if they make it into a movie, if it absolutely sucks, like if they give it like a tenth of the budget that it needs to, it's a film instead of a TV show, whatever, I'm not going to be upset. I wish they would. I hope that they one day do it justice. But if they don't, I have those games. Like I have the games, I have the expansions, I have everything that they've made for that. I have a ridiculous amount of their merchandise. I have I know way too much about it. I immersed in it, and it like absolutely, and it fundamentally changed me in regards to like the thing, narrowing down things that I absolutely love. Like it is informed a bunch of my aesthetic enjoyment, like all sorts of things. Like absolutely incredible series. They can't take it from me.
Yeah.
They can't take Star Wars from you. They can't take Alan Wake from you. They can't take Fallout from you. And they especially are not taking it from you and are deserving of your ire and your hatred by doing slight changes to character and having a realistic woman without a bigger ass on a poster.
Yeah.
So really, let's try to focus on what's important, which is the fact that they're giving you more in the Fallout universe. You're dying for it. Don't lie to me.
Yeah.
You're dying for it. The minute any of them announced, like the minute Bethesda said, like, we're announcing Fallout, what's the next one? 5? Like, because it was 76 next. Fallout 5, we're working on that. Everyone will just lose their shit.
Please put out Elder Scrolls 6 first.
Nah, absolutely not. No, they're never going to do that. We're going to be in the grave.
No, but I've had it pre-ordered for 10 years now.
No, we're going to be in the grave.
Give me Elder Scrolls 6.
No.
Please. Please?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. No, they'll just re-release Skyrim a couple more times.
I don't care. Do that. I have it on everything. I'll buy it again. Remaster it and put it out. That's fine.
Look, I know that this is...
Elder Scrolls 6 is remastered Skyrim, done.
That's fair.
Fucking them, they're still there. I will still give you my money for that.
Let's throw it to a close at this point. We have now turned into a podcast, but it's... quite frankly.
I know, I'm watching the timer and I'm like, we've been talking for about 25 minutes.
That's totally fine. Okay, but we'll draw it to a close at this point. But I feel like a lot of these incredibly narrative stories, like absolutely incredible universes. I mean, this is not the greatest example. Alan Wake or whatever is very derivative of a whole lot of different things. Like it was unapologetically The Shining. It's like The Shining elements, Twin Peaks. So many references to Kubrick's, to Hitchcock, they are taking. I mean, they even mention they're very self-referential. They're breaking the fourth wall all the time. They're sort of going like, when they mention Lovecraft, they're like, yes, there is a Lovecraftian eldritch horror at the bottom of the lake. You know, that kind of thing. You just sort of go, they're being very self-referential, and they're sort of going like, 100%, we nicked all this. So don't be upset.
I like that he even said that, though. Like, I like that he even went, I was reading through this other guy's writing, and I like it, so I'm stealing it.
Exactly.
And you're like, amazing.
Yeah, you go, cool, good work, buddy. And, I mean, it's especially funny because, I mean, you'll find out soon enough. But there's, like, a real connection between Tom Zane and Alan Wake. And what I like is that they change. What is that? What?
Tom.
Is that too much? Tom. So what I like is that they make one change. Oh God, I keep saying there's one more thing. This will never end. But like
8 hours later.
But
at least we're back on Alan Wake. That's pretty impressive.
That's true. Okay, so there's they make a decision between, I think, Alan Wake 1 and Alan Wake 2, which is they thought it would be cool to start with if he was a poet, and he is in this. But then they transition into, I can't remember how or why they do it, but they transition into he was a filmmaker, or he dabbled in film.
Right.
And that's where he ended up, like the character, like that's why where his character ended up as what it ended up as for Alan Wake 2. So he's this absolutely deranged, provocative film auteur character who is absolutely fantastic. But at the moment, he's a dude who floats around in a scuba suit, in a big diving suit, and just, I don't know. He's a very interesting guy. But Alan Wake getting introduced to his world changes him fundamentally, which I think is really interesting.
I'm excited.
That's it.
Tom.
Fandoms, calm down. Tom. Bye.
Is that it? Just
That's it. Bye. That's it. Bye.